This is a story of why all people should drive cautious no matter how old or experienced someone is when driving, especially here in South Dakota where the winters can be so brutal as they are. This is a story of also how I learned to drive cautious in my first year living in South Dakota. Not from South Dakota, I'm from Maryland, so the winters are a little different. It was a normal Monday, somewhere in the middle of January 2012. It was a really weak winter for South Dakota. I had stayed at my girlfriend's house overnight in Sioux Falls because I had class early on Monday, so I left around 8 to get to Vermilion at 11. I thought I was giving myself enough time. It was some kind of wintry weather, of which I don't remember. It was windy and slick. I believe it snowed on Monday. I went to the bank to deposit my tips from the weekend, and then I was going to hit the road. And as I was done with the bank, I thought I might want to use my 4x4 that my Jeep was equipped with, but I always felt as soon as I got on the interstate, it was perfectly fine. So I didn't use my 4x4 because it felt like I was just going to be a waste of gas. Normally, I don't wear my seatbelt because I knew it was slick, though, that I should, and thank God I did on this day because I probably wouldn't be alive today to tell the story. As I got on the interstate, it did seem fine. There was also an electronic sign saying that I shouldn't use cruise, but I always did, and normally I'm always fine. I never use, but now I never use cruise control unless it's like bone dry. So I was going a little too fast. I was going about 65 miles per hour. I didn't change lanes or do anything suddenly, but I must have hit some ice with a mixture of strong wind because my back rear wheels started going crazy. I swerved a little to the right, and then I tried to get back on the right track, and then I swerved in the other direction. Eventually, I was turned around in the opposite lane. Lucky nobody was around me. After I was turned around, I hit some snow on the side of the road, and my Jeep decided to roll it 3 times into a ditch in the center of the two interstates. As I was rolling, I was still in my seat, which must have been because of my seatbelt. Everything was flying around. I thought for sure that I was at least going to get seriously injured or end up dead. Then it stopped. The car landed on its four wheels and I walked out. Somehow I wasn't hurt, and all the people stopped and asked me if I was okay. The only answer I had for them is that I'm okay and that I'm blessed. I didn't need to go anywhere like the hospital or anything, and my car was taken somewhere and was totaled. The damages were all over. My parents and my family live in Maryland, so my girlfriend's father came and picked me up and brought me back to their house. I slept the whole day. I was depressed and I had no clue I was going to get to work and everywhere else that I needed to go. The car itself was $9,000 and still had like 3 years left to pay on it. But I'm just at that point I was just thankful I was alive. It was hard to go to sleep because I kept getting images of the accident kept popping in my head and it haunted me. Luckily, my girlfriend's parents treat me like a son. They've known me for like 2 years, and they used to live in Maryland as well, and I knew them back then. So I was able to use my girlfriend's car to get to work. I used it for about a month. I was scared to drive the first couple times, but then after a month, I got myself another Jeep. That car saved my life, so thought why not? And I also want another 4x4. So to this day, in the beginning of March, I've got a new Jeep and it's running great. I'm extremely cautious now, and I always use my 4x4 my 4x4 drive whenever it's tiny bit slick. Also, I always wear my seatbelt. I still kind of get freaked out by wind because I get the same feeling that I did right before I rolled. But everyone should drive extremely cautious in winters, South Dakota and everywhere, and they should always wear their seatbelts so they don't experience what I did, or worse, have gotten hurt or have died.